Hi, teacher.
Hello. Can
Hello.
you
So
hear
actually,
me?
we're live. We're live now, but
Okay.
we'll,
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, you
okay.
okay.
All right. So we're preparing the link to give to our students now.
But can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Ah, all right.
Oh, let me check. From the YouTube
YouTube.
YouTube link.
Okay.
Okay. The YouTube links are doing fine as well.
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
The YouTube links are doing fine as well. Okay.
I shared the link to her.
Hmm. Should we share to IBK so?
Yeah, I shared to the parents group also.
So have you shared to?
To her, yes lah. The link dalam chat.
Okay. Oh, this one. Hmm. Ati tengah ni, tengah, sekejap, tengah live. Tengah live YouTube ni, tengah buat kerja. Sampai pukul 10.
Dah ada budak yang masuk ke?
Kami
Dah mula ada masuk dah. Kita setakat ni ada 21 orang.
Ada budak yang masuk ke?
Dah mula ada masuk dah. Okey, dah pukul 8, mungkin kita boleh mula, Puan.
Okay, sure.
Alright. So, hi everyone. Good evening. Today we'll have our Celik Bijak Fasa 4 for Bahasa Inggeris, and we call it as is SPM speaking. So we will do speaking. What do you call that? We'll have speaking tips today. So let me introduce our speaker for today. So she is Puan Natsuha binti Azmi. She's from SMK Datuk Ali Haji Ahmad. She is the JU Negeri Latihan Pensukaran Speaking and Writing from 2020 to 2021. She is also the JU Daerah Pontian Pengoperasian dan Pengurusan Ujian Bertutur BISPM. She is the Ketua Assessor Daerah SPM 2021 to 2033, and she's also the Ketua Panitia Bahasa Inggeris in the school. Welcome Puan Nasuha.
Thank you.
Alright, so
Nice to
I don't
meet
think
you.
we'll be
Hi, Lucky.
having... Hi. I don't think we'll be having anyone to give speeches, so let's start.
All right. Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to SMKBBU students. I'm very sure that you are all very eager to get your SPM done and over with, right? So, Alhamdulillah, I believe you have completed your ujian bertutur bahasa Melayu. I would say pretty well, isn't it? Okay, so let's begin with the preparation that you should be doing for your ujian bertutur bahasa Inggeris. Okay, all right. So talking about speaking, all right. Whatever it is in the English exam, all you need to know is we have to uh, pay attention to the titles in the textbook. If you can see on screen, all right, there are four themes that are being covered in the English textbook, starting from remove up until form 5. Okay, so having to know all these topics are actually what you should spot for your exam questions. This is going to be tested in all papers. All right, you may people and culture. For example, question about teenagers. All right, so you will get it probably in all paper 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why do I say all? Because if you notice, here are some lists that I put, right? And from the list, the most number of topics or titles under the theme of people and culture, these are actually the highest number of topics under the theme. So, meaning to say, when you have so many topics under the theme, so you need to actually be prepared to answer these questions in all papers. They may ask you to write essay on it. You may have to talk about it in your speaking test, and you will also be listening to the audio from this topic. Okay, and secondly, under the theme of health and environment, these are also very common. You have been doing these practices and exercises in school, all right, whereby you must have knowledge on the nature, all right, talking about health. And for example, because all of you love, especially boys, when you love sports, you know that sport is very related to health, all right, because when you exercise, when you do sports, you actually improve your health. So the theme for health and environment actually quite important for you to pay attention, because here from the list, I've taken out the list actually from the Form 4 and Form 5 textbook. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are actually quite famous also for you to really study about them. Okay. I know it's not so much of a favorite because my kids, they do not really like to talk about environment, but environment is very popular. So you have to pay attention, yeah? Okay, now the third theme is consumerism and financial awareness. When it comes to this theme, all of you should have known that this is also a very famous and popular, isn't it? You've been talking about shopping, you've been talking about whether it's traditional or online, and especially it concerns money. And the level of questions under this theme ranges from the easiest to the most difficult one. Easy, I would say, like how to save money is easy, right? But they can twist the questions and make it hot. Like, do you think cashless will rule the world? No. Do you think there will be no more cash bill? And do you think that no, debit card and credit card will replace everything in the future? So that kind of question is actually very difficult, and you like it or not, you have to pay attention to this, because if you notice, it's not a lot. All right, there are only one, two, three, four, five, and when there are only five, meaning to say they are going to be tested in your exams. You know why? Because all four themes have to be covered. Whatever the questions come, they must cover all these themes. So when there are not much about consumerism and financial awareness, meaning you must know that you may expect these questions, all right, in your exam. It's also popular in speaking test paper. Okay. And lastly, we have science and technology. Okay, under science and technology, of course, you guys always talk about invention, gadget, you know, the use of social media, social networking applications, and whatnot. So these are also popular questions. So having said all that, what I'm trying to get is, if you want to get ready, you have to look at these themes, and you have to have some general knowledge, some current issues that you want to talk about when it comes to the questions. Okay, because I'm not so used with StreamYard. I don't know whether the students can be asking me questions or not. But I think you can write comment, right? You can put your comments so that I can interact with you, because normally when I do a session, a workshop, there'll always be like asking students. So now it feels weird when I'm talking alone. I don't know whether you guys are following me or not. Okay, all right, so I will continue with the marking, no, sorry, not with the scoring, with the scoring of this speaking test. All right. Okay, so you have to know that the test is actually discussing on we have what we call that two teachers, right? So we want to look at your discussion, and these teachers, all right, one is the assessor. Let me just go. I think I've messed up the slide a little bit. Okay, here. There you go. Okay, so when it comes to speaking test, okay, I know that by now you are all aware that your marks are actually 24. A total of 24 marks will be given to you. And the division of that 24 is actually being held by the assessor and the interlocutor. So these examiners, all right, they will listen to you for different aspects. Okay, so the assessor will be the teacher from another school. It will not be from your own teacher. So this teacher, who we call assessor, will be listening for the grammar, vocabulary, communicative competence. So we will give you a total of 18 marks. Okay, meanwhile, the teacher from your school, we address them as interlocutor. So your interlocutor will be listening to you and will be giving marks based on OSP. So OSP is overall spoken performance. So you have to impress the assessor. Okay, and of course by now you have you are aware that interlocutor, even though they are from your own school, this teacher cannot help you at all. They can only repeat the question, but you cannot ask your interlocutor to give definition. You cannot ask your teacher to explain or translate for you. Okay, all they can do is the repetition of the question. They can only repeat. Okay, the assessor will not be saying anything. The assessor will be observing behind you, all right, behind the interlocutor. And even though she's not saying anything or he's not doing anything, he is actually assessing you based on this category. So I will go back and explain to you what are the things that you must do to impress these assessors. Okay, all right, so now if we look at the mark, okay, if you want to score maximum 6 just now, but I'm showing you 5 first, okay, if you can communicate with a good degree of accuracy in your grammar, it means that you have the potential to get 5, okay, marks, all right. And we not only look at the accuracy, meaning whether are you using the correct present tense or past tense, or are you using the correct verb, he or she. So these are the things we look for. And of course, when it comes to how you arrange your sentences, when you say or when you give your response, do you use simple sentence, or do you have some complex grammatical structure in your responses? And of course, this is also very important, whether we see that you are able to link your sentences using cohesive devices. I know you are aware of what cohesive devices are, right? Because most of you have been forced by your teacher to always use this in your essay. So remember, not only for writing, you also need to use this for your speaking. Okay? So if you have all these, you may get 5, all right, for your grammar part. All right, now when it comes to vocabulary, the assessor will monitor your responses and look for the vocabulary that you use. For example, are you using like wide range of appropriate and specific vocabulary to the topic that you get? Okay, and obviously also we are going to see whether you are using a simple vocab or using a wide range of bombastic words maybe. Okay, and of
Teacher
course,
Nat, Teacher Nat,
yes, yes,
sorry to interrupt. There's a question in
no,
the comment
oh,
section
okay,
asking
uh,
about is using less common lexis necessary for speaking, just like when we write, just like
yes,
for
yes,
writing.
yes, I will go on that and show under the 6 maximum marks for
Ah,
vocabulary.
okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Thank you for that because I cannot really see the comment now. So, there's a question there. Will any accent deduct marks when talking? Oh, actually, we are not looking for the accent or what do we call that, slang. We are not supposed to. I would advise you not to use slang as much. And but we are actually not monitoring under accent. If you can see here, there's no such thing as deducting or actually giving extra mark if you use like American accent or British accent, right? As long as you can express yourself, as long as we can get what you're trying to say clearly, all right, that's what matters most. All right, because sometimes there are some students who are like very concerned. For example, there are like, not to criticize these kids, but there are some tendency of students who cannot pronounce R, right? So they tend to speak a little bit of that, but we do not actually, what do you call that, penalize them or deduct them marks as long as the intended meaning of the word mentioned is clear. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Okay, so coming back to vocabulary, if you are able to convey your ideas, your justifications, your responses using good vocabulary choice, then we will give you 5 marks. Okay, so you need to be able to differentiate between grammar and vocabulary. And now, when it comes to communicative competence, we will see how smooth you are. No, it is a matter of whether you can express yourself with very little hesitation. It means you're very smooth, you're like very steady, the term steady kan. So this is under kefasihan lah. Okay. And we want to see that you can initiate, maintain, develop and close conversation with ease. Nampak mudah je awak cakap. This is what it means lah. And of course, you have to relate and contribute to your partner and negotiate. Negotiating is actually a thing that people sometimes try, what do you call that? People, not to say that they ignore completely, but they don't know that it's actually important for you. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the score of 6. Okay, now if you want to get full mark, okay, for grammar, vocabulary, and communicative competence, okay, these are the things you must look. Okay, here, high degree of grammatical accuracy, almost flawless, I would say. Not to say 100%, accurate and 100% like no mistakes at all, but there are some tendency of students who can do that, all right? But the idea is we can see that you consistently maintains this level of accuracy. Okay, and of course you have good command of a wide range of grammatical structure. This means that your response are very abstract, it's very well structured, it's very complex. You're not answering like orang tanya sepatah you jawab sepatah, this is not the kind of range we are looking for. So you give very clear answer. Okay, and here, when it comes to organizational patterns, cohesive devices, and connectors, that we can see clearly that you change your one point to another point using these devices. Okay, it's kind of like very well linked. Okay, all right. Now vocabulary. This is where you are talking about the less common lexis, right? So here is where you get full marks for vocabulary when you use that. The tendency of using the accurate vocabulary for the topic that you're being asked, all right, and whether you can actually give examples using abstract ideas and like current issues, and you give, you can quote maybe some facts. So this is where you can score. Okay. Here under communicative competence, the difference between 5 and 6 just now, you can see that the score of 5, you have some little hesitation just now, right? And now you are actually able to express yourself spontaneously. So sangat lancar dan fasih lah. Okay. And of course, you can see the word here is you can maintain the conversation with ease. You can actually prompt and help your friend, and you interact with very comfortably with each other. And lastly, you are very skillful, and you can show that you able to speak and discuss effectively with your partner. Okay. All right, so having known that, we are going to look at the score that your teacher can give you. So your teacher,
Monat, can I interrupt for a sec just to
sure,
read one of the question from the
sure,
students?
sure.
Sorry, Balkis is doing her prayer, so I'll be
All right,
moderating for a while. Yeah. So
okay.
Suha asked if we talk a well-structured sentences, but the
Mm-hmm.
informations that we give are little off. I think what she means is the content is not that accurate. Will it
Yes.
affect anything?
It actually affects under the vocabulary.
Oh.
Meaning to say, there are some students who can really talk smoothly, right? But sometimes the point that was delivered are not that accurate.
Mm.
So we are not penalizing for the communicative competence. So that
Mm.
student deserves to get six because of the flawless and good grammar structure. But when it comes under vocabulary, it will actually hinder the students from getting full mark
I
because of
see.
the inability to actually respond accurately to the topic, whereby
Mhm.
you are not using the correct vocabulary, and also the topic that you discuss are not actually accurate. So it will
Mm.
comes down to 4 or 5
Okay.
maybe. Okay, so don't worry so
All
much
right.
about trying
Okay.
to get all, like, we are not actually trying to look for the errors that much, but we are going to see what you can do. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we are trying to see your ability in different aspects. So it's not fair for the assessor to penalize all. If you are weak in that part, it means that you are lacking in that specific part only.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
All
Ponat.
right. Okay. So maybe what the student Suna just now is asking, perhaps that actually depends on the interlocutor. Because, sorry, yes, yes, interlocutor. Because interlocutor is the one who's going to be giving you the mark for overall spoken performance. So if your teacher is not actually quite happy with your answer, maybe instead of giving six, then she can only give you five, because she has only one band to follow. She doesn't have like three separate aspects or criteria like the assessor has. Okay, so let's look at the interlocutor now. Okay, uh, if we see that the candidate, okay, if your teacher see that your candidate does not, the students does not produce sufficient language to be assessed and repeatedly uses other than English, which means no, 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 no answer at all. Do you want to answer no, keep quiet throughout the session? Then of course zero. Okay, and one is when you can understand the question and you can actually respond, whether it's quite short but you still answer and you answer it correctly. It means that very basic answer given. Okay, and of course you see that the student needs a lot of prompting and support. It means you have to ask your friend next to you to translate for you perhaps, and maybe you need extra information from your friend and you have to discuss with your friend. So that is actually things that this interlocutor will look when they are trying to give marks to you. Okay, so average students will actually fall under the score of 3. Okay, but we do not want to get 3, right? We want to get like higher. So you have to make sure that you speak. No matter how hard the question is, don't give up. Don't just, like, look at the question and stare blindly and blank. And you have to still try to respond, because the moment you speak, you will get marked. Don't worry. Okay. So you have to make sure, you if you don't understand the question, you can ask your teacher to repeat. And when you hear your teacher repeat the question, please also pay attention to the words that she mentioned. Meaning, you must look at what is the topic that she's saying, what is the key word that she's saying. Okay, so you have to pay attention. All right. Okay, now, if you want to get a score of 5, what you have to do is you must understand the questions, and of course, you can answer with ease. The moment we see you can answer the questions quite easily, then you falls under this score. Okay, and we see that you can maintain and develop the interaction. We see you have a discussion going on, not a presentation. Okay, and if you do not require teacher to repeat that much, you do not have to be prompted, or you do not need any support, then you can be given 5. Okay, so to get 6 from your interlocutor, as you can see on screen, you need to engage in the conversation, in the discussion with ease. You have to be able to compensate for gaps, meaning to say when you see your friend is like pausing, you can actually jump in and continue the discussion. Jangan terus orang senyap and then another one pun senyap, dua-dua senyap, then thank you. Right? So you are going to waste time on that. Okay? All right. So now let's move on. Okay. So when you look at the speaking test, I think that many students they make mistakes, especially in part 3, the discussion part. Okay, it obviously the question itself is asking you to discuss, right? So when it comes to discussing, you have to make it interactive. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is from the scale that you saw just now, if you talk, you have to have a checklist. All right, you have to get yourself prepared. Am I using the correct grammar? Okay, am I using the correct grammar? Which means that are you using good what do you call that present tense or past tense? Okay, are you using the correct pronoun? These are all the things that I mentioned just now. Okay, and again, when it comes to vocabulary, you must have the discussion on the topic, which is using the relevant vocabulary. Okay, and your idea, whether it's abstract or complex. The what I'm trying to say is, if let's say you get a topic on a favorite person, okay, so you talk about your sister, and your partner talk about the Prime Minister of New Zealand, for example. So who is actually having the abstract idea? Your sister or the Prime Minister? The prime minister, right? So this is what it means when you are having the abstract and complex ideas. It's not to say that we will penalize you if you talk about your mother or your father, but it means that you are lacking in some way the idea to speak about something which is not so talk among other students. Meaning to say that your vocabulary choice is quite simple, it's quite biasa lah. Uh, so that particular student may get perhaps 2 to 3 because the assessor masa dia mula-mula dengar, right? So they will actually have like some sort of like a band tengah-tengah. Where should I put this student? Should I put it like 2, 3, or should I put this student 3, 4? So if your choice of answer is common answer, simple answer, it may go to 2, 2 to 3, maybe 2 dulu. Okay, so if another student able to share idea which is complex and abstract, so she or he will get that 3 to 4. So the assessor will be giving perhaps 4 now. If she's happy with you, then she'll give you 4. So that mark will actually, interchangeable later on. So if you are able to express more in part 3, then from 3 you'll get 4, and then you answer very well executed, then you get 5. Then if you're able to answer the hot question, then you will have the potential to get 6. So the baseline is actually very important for you to impress in part 2. Okay.
Puan Nat,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you are able to give the answer for this because this is very technical. But one of the
Mhm.
students asked, what is the mark for C1? Is there such thing as marks for C1, marks for C2? Very technical question.
Uh, there's no how should I say this? The teachers also, we have no idea, all right,
Mm,
how the LPM actually give out the range for the marks of C1 and C2. All right,
yeah.
because like now, if you're talking about speaking itself,
Mm-hmm.
all we know is we have to give the students this 24 marks, right? So they will come up with another certificate, right?
Yeah.
SPM will have like another certificate for CEFR. So we were wondering also what exactly is like, C1 or C2 kind of mark range. So I cannot answer this technical question, but all I
Yeah.
can say is I believe if you're able to get 6 and 5 mostly, you are actually the C1 and C2 students. Mm. Because if we look at the score, right, all this score is divided into a band of 6. So technically speaking, if you're able to answer questions for hot question, that hot question belongs to C1 level. Okay, so C1 level, meaning to say, if you get to answer that, then you have to get all, perhaps 6 for each component, then you'll get about 22 to 24, perhaps 23, 24 to get C2,
Yeah.
and maybe 20 to 22 C2, I believe.
Alright.
C1, sorry.
Alright. Okay, thank you, Puan.
Okay. Oh, sorry for the question. What question is that, Philip?
It was from one of the student named Filet. So
Okay, what was
asked
it?
for
Did I miss the question?
we can see at the chat there,
Yeah,
teacher.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
Let me.
if you said this already, but how much marks do we get? How much marks do we need to get a C1?
Oh, I think I answered that already just now. C1
Mm-hmm.
over 24, not over 24, because the full mark is 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for C1 is actually, I would say 20 to 22. And C2, the highest would be 23 to 24.
Alright. Alright. Thank
Okay.
you, Puan.
So when we are talking, should we talk like we're in an interview or in a normal conversation? A very good question. We should talk like we are in a normal conversation between friends. This is not an interview session. An interview session is only on part one, where the interlocutor will ask you what's your name, then where do you come from, what's your favorite, that the first part is the interview part. Part two and part three is no longer interview. Okay, especially for part three, you need to have normal conversation. Okay. All right. From Anissa Azli, if both speakers aren't very proficient in speaking, would it be better for them to follow a format such as taking turns on one content or speak freely among themselves while hesitating, like saying, um, aren't very proficient? Okay, now, I would say that many schools have actually trained the students to follow some kind of like an outline or guideline, right? So, if you think that you could perform better using that, by all means, ask from your teacher, can I have like certain kind of like a format so that I can follow who should go first and who should start next, right? That is actually very good for you to prepare, because we need to have that guideline so that you will not miss out on the things that they want to assess you. So if you have that guideline, for example, firstly, let's talk about the how to save the environment. Yeah, let's talk about that now. What do you think about this and not that? So having that cue is actually important to see that you are interacting actively, not like you are presenting alone. Today I would like to talk about, no, it's not about you alone. It's about you and your friend discussing that topic. Okay? Okay, so should we face our friends for the second part of speaking? I think it would come in. Yes, you can actually turn your chair a little bit like this and like talk to each other. You're not supposed to just look into the interlocutor's eyes, because when you're discussing, you are interacting with your friend. Remember, just now I show you negotiating. When you negotiate, how do you negotiate? You are not negotiating with the teacher. You're supposed to negotiate with your partner. You're supposed to discuss and decide together, which is the most important. So this is what we want you to do. Make it interactive. Okay? Right, teacher, if you think that I have missed a lot of questions, then please interrupt me, okay?
All right. No worries, Puan.
Okay.
Thank you, Puan.
So, okay. So I'll continue. See, Here it means that are you discussing or are you presenting your idea? Okay. So we want to see that you are having a discussion. All right. Now let's see. Okay. Now the question is, teacher, I don't know what to say. When I answer very short, I tak pandai nak explain. These are the common things that students fear all the time. Okay, this is the same like when you write essay. When you write essay, you have to have a point, right? So you need to know that you can apply this peel technique, or I would say this peel formula. Okay, and you can apply this for part two and part three. Remember, I do not focus on part one because part one is actually very uh, easy kind of interview session. It's just to warm up, right? Part one is only to get you feel comfortable in that room, just to get the ball rolling. Okay, so here comes the part where we are going to go for the technical thing of your answer. So how to present your answer or how to talk about your topic is you must make your point, and of course E would be give evidence like examples, and of course you have the example, you need to explain about the evidence that you have, and you need to link back to the question or link to the point that you are discussing. So always remember, when you try to answer in four sentences. Four is for the point, evidence or example, explain and link. If you do that, you will take up the 1 minute nicely. Okay. All right. Now let's go in detail on part two. Okay, so part two, all right, if you see here, this is an individual long term task which takes about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, 3 to 4 minutes. The time given for you is actually only 1 minute for you to speak about your topic, and you will be given 20 seconds to prepare. And by now, you know that you cannot write anything. There's no paper, there's no pen given to you. All you can do in that 20 seconds of time is to think, all right, and just prepare your answer in your mind. So please do not think in Malay. Please try to think in English straight away so that you can actually explain easier, and you will be able to respond better and smoothly if you think in English straight away. And do not actually think of things that are very complicated. All right, we will try to see later on. If I give when I give you the question, then you can actually try whether are you thinking in Malay or are you thinking in English. Okay, so what we want to see, all right, in part two is for you to be able to talk about something in the past, maybe what you're doing at the moment, which is the present time. And you may also be given questions to talk about what you wish to do in the future, and mostly you are sharing experience. Okay, and of course when you have all this, you may have to explain. Of course you have to explain, you have to give reason for anything that you say, and expressing and justifying opinions are also the things that is going to help you get higher marks. And lastly, we will see questions, for example, asking you to describe. Okay, describing involves a lot. You can describe people, you can describe places. The question may ask you to describe event or situation. I mean, it can also ask you, question just talking about an object. So here are the things that you may want to pay attention. Pay attention meaning that you need to actually be prepared on the uh, vocabulary or the words that you need to use to describe all this. Okay, so part two is basically asking for your opinion and reason, and having to talk about all this. Okay, events, situations, people, places, and perhaps items too. Okay, now I have here popular part two topics. Okay, which I have you know taken out from a compilation of 2023 trial questions. So what I see is these are the two popular things that they ask from most of the states that have these questions. Okay, the keyword is favorite or best friend, best movie, best application, what's your favorite, and another one is experience. So you can get yourself ready by having these kind of topics. Okay, for example, the question is talk about your favorite team sport, favorite subject, favorite shop. See, favorite application, favorite gadget, local food, friend, best friend. Okay, favorite book, best place, favorite country. These are the topics which are actually quite easy if you can get yourself ready by now. If you know that these are the things that may come out, then get yourself with all these ideas straight away. Okay, especially when you know that you have, for example, a knowledge about this local food. All right, local food, you may think that it's easy, but when it comes to explaining it, you jadi blank, kan? So right now, get yourself one local food that you want to talk about. So if you get this question, then it will be easy for you. Local food and local fruits is different or same? Is it different or same? Can someone answer? You allowed to use accent? Yes, you can, but not overdo it. Okay. Should Can we agree to disagree with our partner? Okay, I'll get back to your questions, Suna, because I'm not there yet. Okay, local fruit and local food is actually different. All right, because if the question is asking for local fruit, then you cannot talk about karipap. Okay, so you have to actually be careful. Be careful when you look at the question. Okay, and here we have experience. Okay, experience is like you sharing experience. Most of the time is in the past tense. So beware. If you talk about experience, it means that what you have been through, what you have actually, participated or joined. So you have to really look at the question or the points in the question carefully so that you are not using the wrong tense. Okay, so here are some of the examples or sample questions for experience. A memorable holiday, recent gathering, experience going camping, experience involved in extreme sport, a scary experience, and as simple as canteen day. What was the canteen day, that you had recently? So these topics are quite famous, and you may be able to get yourself ready if you pay attention on the issues that are now popular. Okay. All right. So now let's go in detail of what I actually want to highlight here is if you get the question of this question like a favorite place. Okay. Notice that I put an arrow here. Okay, this is actually an indicator for you because you will be given this booklet, right? So you can actually look at this paper. So please pay attention. Is it in the present tense or is it in the past tense? So if you see what or where it is, it means that your answer must be in the present tense. Okay, look, it's being repeated. Is here, why it is your favorite, what you do. Because if it's in the past, then it would be where it was, why it was, what you did. Okay, so notice that the first three bullets are actually talking about your personal preference. Okay, whatever the question is, it will be on your something personal to you. It is the question is personalized for you. Okay, so if you answer the first three, use the correct tense. And if you look at the last bullet, okay, if it is important to have a place that we feel safe. Now, you're not talking about your favorite place anymore. You're talking about a place, not the place that you mentioned just now. So, this last question is actually a C1 question for this part. So if you are able to answer this question, it means that your range mark will be not 2 or 3. It will now go up to 3 or 4 because you're able to answer this question. Okay, so here another example. Okay, the last question is talking about your opinion in general. No longer talking about your experience or your personal preference anymore. So if you look at another sample here, okay, talk about your experience with a part-time job. So see here, the word is, the word used is was. So what the job was, which means you are now no longer having that job. It was your experience with that job that you have already completed. So where, the location of the job, all right? So taken, the word taken is used is in the past participle, right? And here you see the word did. And all these three are your personal experience. Okay. And the last question is asking for your opinion if you think taking up a part time job contributes to students' poor academic performance. Here, you must say a general opinion first, whether you think that you agree that taking part time job contributes to the poor academic performance, or you may say that I do not think that taking up part time job contributes to students' poor academic performance. And when you have that kind of statement, you can actually talk about your own experience, your own way of, taking this part-time job as something that is not affecting your academic. You can do that as your explanation. You can always use your personal experience to give as explanation or example. But you have to come up with a statement whether you agree or disagree with this question. Okay, any questions so far? Is it okay if we talk about something we have never actually experienced? Yes, Suna, it's okay. Because the assessor actually will never we should not ask you any question, right? So we will never bother whether you're telling us the truth or you're just creating fictions. What we want is your ability to speak. We want to look at how you speak. We do not really mind if you're actually telling something that you did not experience yourself. You can come up with any story, or you can, somehow tell lies, but it's white lie, right? Because we do not care about the facts. We want to see that your experience is something that you can talk about, whether it's fictional or whether it's really your own. Okay. All right, so now I am going to give you another two. Okay, what happened most of the time is I have students where they are like very nervous, and of course, they are the kind of students who are not really, what do you call that, who are very average students, like most of us, right? So they would say, I am going to talk about a charity event I joined recently. The name of the charity event I joined is Fun Run. When and where it was held is it was last week at my school. Who participated in the event is, so what the students did was actually quite good, because I would say good because at least the students try to answer. At least you know that you have to answer all these points. But that student will not get 4 or 5 marks. If you're able to answer in that way, you can guarantee that you can get 2 marks already, as long as you speak. Okay, but the problem is many of the students, they are very scared of trying to talk about it without using the point. Okay, for example, if a good student, they will not actually bother repeating the point. They will talk about, I recently joined a fun run activity that my school had. We had fun organizing the fun run, which is 5 kilometer fun run, and it was held by the school in conjunction with our co-curriculum day. And we had the fun run near the school area, and there were 1,000 people participated in the event, which not only involving the students of our school, but we had neighboring school and even the public who joined us too. You see, the students are able to just say it out without reading the point or the bullet and answer in a very simple way. Right? So this is where you see the difference between students who are able to respond or need the cue to help them answer.
Teacher, sorry, there's a question.
Okay.
So the student asked, Suna asked, if what if we kept stuttering on the same word? Like for example, the word capability we kept mispronouncing as capability, like kept on stuttering on the word. What will happen?
Okay. This is where you need to have a very good partner. If your partner notice that you are stuttering and keep repeating it wrongly, then your partner should actually alert you, and by trying to correct you, it's fine. The teacher cannot correct you, but your partner can.
But
All
what
right.
if it happens in part two during the individual task?
Yeah, I mean, your partner can just poke you.
Okay,
Just
I
poke you,
see.
and then you can just like beware that, oh, okay, I think I said it wrongly. So if you do not realize that you had been pronouncing it wrongly, then go ahead, because it would be better if you continue rather than you're stuttering, then you stop and the time is actually running, so you cannot talk anymore when the teacher say thank you. Right? So stuttering is actually normal to some people, right? And in fact, to many people, stuttering is quite normal. But how you handle it, how you can stay calm, even though you know that you stutter, but you still try to finish your sentence. You have to still try, talk, even though you are not sure whether you say it right or wrongly. Just continue. Okay. All right. So, like I mentioned just now, a good student will be able to put connectors and cohesive devices when they want to link the response. Okay. And if you look at another question here, the favorite mobile phone app. Okay. My favorite app that I have been using for the past 3 years is Instagram. I believe Instagram is the best application that I have discovered during the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. Firstly, I think this app is good because it does many things. I believe Instagram is the best platform for me to connect with my friends, as well as it is an application I use to upload my photo and my videos. And now with the filter and all, it gives me confidence to take picture by using the filter. Okay, so having said all this, I think I would recommend many people, in fact, all people, to use the app because we can use this app as our virtual diary, as well as our storage, because I can be sure that we have many pictures we can upload, and it could also be used as something that I can look forward in the future. So you notice or not that the answer given has these cohesive devices, and before you end your personal reference, you have this mention. This is what I would like you to you I would like you to use. This I would encourage everybody to just, before you answer the last question, say this, to see that you to show that you are able to differentiate between what is the personal opinion and what is it that you are going to conclude as something in what do you call that, something to talk about, another opinion that you want to talk here. Okay. Am I clear? All right. See, the last question, if you think joining charity event is a waste of time. So
Correct.
you talk about all this, then you have to say, having said all that, I think joining charity event is not a waste of time. This is because, then you give your answer. Okay. Yes, teacher.
Teacher, yes, that's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, First, she asked if, I think it's a she, asked if what if we talk too fast? And second, another thing that worries me is that when we say a sentence with the word thing, would it be
Mm-hmm.
better if we give example as well? Because things seem too vague.
Yeah, yeah. It would be better if you specifically give the example. Don't just say the word thing, because what are you actually referring to? If you can give that a specific word, then you'll get the higher marks for vocabulary. I mentioned before, right? Okay, talking too fast is actually normal when you are panic. But like I say, stay calm, remember the peel formula, and try to talk as clear as possible. Just talk, yes, just talk. Okay. If you are too fast, you may stutter a lot. So be careful with your words. Why are you rushing? I would say talking clearly and smoothly is better than talking too fast. Okay. All right. So I think I've covered for part two. Now let's go for part three. Okay, part three is the discussion part. See, part three, it involves a discuss. This is a discussion task, and it will take up to 4 to 5 minutes, which is divided into three parts. Right. First, for 2 minutes, you need to discuss the bubble map, and you also the mind map. Sorry. Then after that, you need to decide, okay, which is the most effective, most important, the best, and whatnot. And of course, there'll be another part that you will be getting a hot question, which will be taking up about 2 minutes of your time. So this is why where you see the 4 to 5 minutes, right? Okay, so what exactly the assessors and the interlocutor have to see in your discussion? Okay, we want to see, okay, all this, I put it in here, okay, to make it easy for you. All right. They want to see whether there are turn taking, which means you take turn. Okay, not one student dominating the whole discussion, not like one student alone talking, yang seorang lagi tu yes, no, understand, yeah, agree, I disagree tu je. No, don't do that. Okay, you need to respond, you need to have a negotiation going. The students both must initiate the conversation, and of course when you give your idea, you must justify, you must give a reason why you say something, and your opinion that you share, you must explain. And of course, the question that you will get in this is having you to suggest on something. So whatever it is, you must make it interactive. You must have a discussion which you are actively asking one another, actively responding to each other, not presenting to the interlocutor. I hope it's clear by now what you need to do for part three. Okay. All right.
Teacher, there's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, First is the question asks if what to do if they feel nervous, and second is if what if I forgot the words I want to use and accidentally pause for a long time.
Okay, all right. This is where your partner plays important role. If you forgot about the words, your partner should be able to help you, or should actually try to help you, because if you see that your partner having to have a long pause, you should not waste your time. You should not wait for your partner to get the idea back. So you can jump in and say, are you saying that we should do this? You know, I think how to save the environment is by using the reusable tote bag or usable bag. I think that then you see your partner stuttering, right? I think that the bag is, oh yeah, using bags, right? I see my mother using bag all the time. It's good because when you use bag, we don't use plastics anymore. Ah, yes, you're right. Thank you. So you can jump in and, like, help each other, because if you do that, you get the conversation or discussion rolling, and you will not waste time, because we will not pause the timer for you. Remember that. Okay, if you forgot the words, it's okay. Your friends help, your partner help. That's why you need to have a very good partner, so that you can actually, help each other. Okay. When I want to talk but I feel nervous, I know I'm nervous too, talking in front of you. How many people we have right now watching, Cikgu? How many students do we have right now?
Oh, so we have like 85 right now.
Okay, good number. Don't worry, you're talking only in front of two people. Now I'm talking in like 85 students, in front of 85 people watching. Don't worry, okay? Just like take a deep breath. You've been practicing for many times, then it will actually be okay. Okay, because you are prepared. Don't worry. Okay, 85. What if I forgot? Okay, I already answered. Just use another word that have same meaning to it. Betul, betul. If you forgot one specific word, okay, you have to use another word which has the same meaning, which is the what do you call that, synonym. Or sometimes what you can do is, if you forget that one specific word, what will help is your explanation. Just explain, right? Because explanation is actually what you can do to help you get to your idea. Okay, now let's look at the sample for question on part 3. Okay, the question is, why should people learn another language? Okay, so you have a question for you to discuss, the interlocutor say. Okay, so you'll be given some time to think about what you're going to say. So 20 seconds given to you. Okay, so the time for you, that 20 seconds is for you to choose which one you are going to take. So students will take how many points? How many points should you take each? So fun. What if we make emphasis by repeating a word like so fun? Okay, if you know that you tend to use the word so, try to start practicing now. Don't use so all the time. Replace so with therefore. Replace so with thus. Change so with therefore, thus, hence. So try to memorize these other cohesive devices that you can use rather than using so all the time. What if we say an acronym? Do we have to say the full word like FBI? Acronym is not encouraged if just say the acronym. You use the acronym, but you have to explain what the letters are. Okay, yes. Henry say 3. Anissa also say 3. All right. How many minutes are you given to speak, the two of you, for this question? How long are you given to discuss this? Okay, one student will take 3 points, yes, but the whole conversation, the whole discussion, okay, how long will you be given? 3 minutes? Nah, no, not 3 minutes. No, not 3 minutes. You only have 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes, not 5 minutes. 5 minutes is the whole part three. Now I'm asking you the first part of part three. Part three is divided into three parts. Okay, three parts. So I mentioned just now, you first have 20 seconds. Then you choose 3 points each. After that, you are given 2 minutes to discuss this question and use all the points. Okay, after that, you have 1 minute to decide. Okay, which is the most popular reason why people should learn another language. Okay, after that 1 minute, then you have another question, which is a hot question, the C1 question, which is going to determine whether you're getting a 5 or you're getting a 6 answer for all the parts now. Okay, so the first part, 2 minutes, what you have to do is you must choose three. Okay, what if you talk only 4 points? Student A managed to speak only two, and student B managed to speak only two. Do you think you will? Do you think your marks will be penalized? Not enough time. 2 minutes. That's why you don't have to use all the points. Okay, you are given three each. All right, 6 year is easier for us to say that, okay, aku ambil tiga, kau ambil tiga. Yes, you can do that, but what we are seeing or what we are monitoring or assessing is not your ability to be able to finish all six. No, assessor bukan nak tengok awak boleh jawab semua 6. No. We want to see whether you're able to use the point in proper sentences, explain with evidence. We want to see whether you're able to link the point to the question. Tu, bukannya kita nak tengok aku dapat jawab semua 6 point kita orang, 3-3. No. You have to be smart here. Be smart is like you have to choose the point that you're able to explain more, the point that you have a lot of idea to talk. For example, if you see the word if you see point number 3, brain growth, aku nak cakap apa brain growth ni? Okay, skip that one first. Why people should learn another language? I would choose 1.1 first, more job opportunities. So you speak about this first. Don't speak about brain growth. Okay, so you have to take turns, right? So the second student, or student B, you also choose one that you can talk a lot. Okay, when people learn another language, I believe it is good because we can have we can be more open minded. Okay, so my point is, when you look at the point, you should not bother about answering all points. If you are able to explain, then choose only two. If, let's say, you are unable to explain, but you want to answer all because you still have time, then use all three. If you're able to explain, you're able to give example, then two is enough, as long as you dengar interlocutor say thank you, because that's the only timer you have. There's no bell, there's no alarm. So you dengar je. If the interlocutor say thank you, that means your time is up. The 2 minutes is up. So selagi you tak dengar thank you cakap lah. Okay, so I see a question here. How can one enhance vocal variety to make a speech more engaging? Wow, very complicated question. Enhance vocal variety? What do you mean vocal variety? Ah, We are not assessing your vocal sound. We are assessing the idea from from your responses. It's not so much about the vocal. Vocal means here is like how clear you speak. Yes, how well you respond or give your, idea. It's not so much about having, I don't quite understand what kind of vocal variety, but I would say don't speak monotonously. Okay, speak like you're engaging in a very lively conversation. I think people should learn another language because more job opportunities. It's very dull, right? So you have to engage in that conversation, in the discussion, like like you're talking macam kau lepak kat kedai mamak, kau cakap macam kau cakap dengan kawan, kau bincang, but it's being done in English. Oh yeah, Hafiz, let's talk about why people should learn another language. Do you want to learn another language? Of course. I think learning another language will give me more opportunities to find more jobs. So you can actually use the point given, but you twist it and make it your own. All right. That's where we see that, oh, these students have something extra. These students are able to use the point and use it in their own sentence, in their own way. Oh, definitely. I agree with you. I think that if I learn Korean, for example, I will be able to have cross-cultural friendship after this because I can speak Korean to people from Korea and it would help me understand the K-drama more. Yeah, yeah, you and your K-drama. Yes. What else? What else? Okay. I think another reason why people should learn another language is to, when we travel, it will be very easy for us. Traveling will be very easy because when we know the language of the country we're visiting, we will definitely be able to survive there. Okay, I agree with you. What I'm trying to show you is like how you talk and how you engage with each other has to be more relaxed and fun, not too dull and very monotonous. Okay, all right, now let's see. Okay, here I was saying I've already explained to you, but this is what I have here. Choose 3 points only if you think that you are not able to explain. So if you do that, it means you will take up the 2 minutes, all right, given. If you just say one sentence and then you have no explanation, no cohesive devices, no example, then yes, go ahead and take turn giving the 3 points. But if you're able to speak, choose two only each. And when you choose, you must choose the best that you can explain. Okay, here I put here when you explain, use the pure formula, point, examples, explain, link. Don't forget the cohesive devices. Firstly, I think, oh, I agree with you. What else? So I want to add that, in addition, moreover, so you can do that. Okay, here, face each other, look at each other, not to say that you're like facing each other, completely ignoring the interlocutor, but at least you can turn a little bit, all right, and talk to each other. Okay, all right, now what to include in your 2 minute discussions. Okay, the first part of part three is you have to discuss for 2 minutes, right? So here are some expressions that you may want to add if you are not sure about these linkers. Here are the linkers that you can find from your textbook. I've actually taken this out from your textbook. So memorize all this. At least, how you want to sequence your ideas. At least you should use 2 or 3 of this. When you memorize 2 or 3, then every time you want to explain your responses, or when you speak for part 2 and part 3, you can switch, using the different phrases or linkers. Not to say that just now your students say I use so that so all the time. So this is where you can avoid using the same expressions. Okay, these are from your textbook. If you want to give examples here, maybe for the first time you can say, for instance. Then the second point you want to explain, you give for example, such as. These are the expressions that you can use. Okay, now if you are introducing ideas, right? Here you have sequencing, first, next, secondly, finally. But here, if you're introducing supporting ideas, you can add this, like moreover, furthermore. If you're talking about something in contrast, okay, on the other hand, however, and if you are the last person, all right, and the last point to mention the last point, you can use this all in all to sum up in conclusion. So try to memorize this. And when I say you must take turn, these are the expressions or the linkers that you have to use when you want to show that you are taking turns in your discussion. Okay, do you agree? What's your opinion of learning another language? What do you think about learning another language? Why do you think it's important for us to learn another language? You should come up with this kind of questions. Barulah kita dapat markah tinggi. Okay? And of course here, if you want to explain, if you want to justify your opinion, you can use this. That's my opinion because I think this is the case because my reason for saying this is that, okay, hafal. Okay, hafal this. Okay, now, cara dia senang je. What to say in 2 minute study? Candidate A, you yang kena greet partner dulu. Oh, hi Aziz. Let's talk about why people should learn another language. Oh, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about learning another language. Okay, kalau you tak nak baca soalan, then you can take the question and create a topic out of it. If this is the question, why should people learn another language? Kan? Kalau you nak dapat markah tinggi, you supposed to say, okay Aziz, let's talk about learning another language. You buang, why should people? Because here we can see how smart you are in getting the topic out of the question. Okay, so start with cohesive device, meaning firstly, in my opinion, I think people should learn another language. Okay, then you give the point, which one you want to say. Okay, then you state the point here. I say this because if we learn another language, then it will be easy for us. Ni maksudnya you are justifying your point. And after you do that, you need to ask response from your partner. Don't forget about that. Okay, do you agree with me, Ali? Then your partner or candidate B will do this in response. Okay, notice or not, I put here, add a verb to the point. Okay, sometimes there are questions given, they do not give you the verb, which means when you respond, we are going to see whether the students are able or not to make a complete sentence by using the verb or including the verb to the point. Kalau you jawab, contoh uh, students who are not so confident, dia akan jawab because we tell them you mesti baca soalan, you mesti jawab kan. But the way they answer is like this. I think why should people learn another language? Because more open-minded. Because more open-minded. What's missing there? The verb, right? Because they want to be more open-minded. So you kena tengok points tu ada verb ke tak ada. Kalau tak ada, you have to add. Okay, and sometimes some students dia tak nak baca soalan, dia nak terus baca point. Yes, you can do that. Okay, travelling made easy because people learn another language. Kalau you start macam tu, dia jadi salah because that sentence is not grammatically correct. Okay, if you want to use the point first, okay, I think cross-cultural friendship is one of the reason why people should learn another language. This is because when we learn another language, for example, if we learn English, then we will be able to create cross-cultural friendship. Sebenarnya dia ulang balik je point sama. But how you are able to put that in sentence tu yang kita nak tengok. Okay? So far so good. Will our points
Teacher,
be
there's
yes?
a question.
Okay. Will our points be deducted if we don't end it with a conclusion or didn't have time for conclusion? Okay. Actually, there's no such thing as deducting your marks or your point. From the whole conversation, we will see it holistically. Holistically means the whole thing will be actually be looked in all aspect. Bukan nak tengok whether you end with conclusion or not. But like I said, your marks will actually depends on nak naik ataupun nak maintain. Bukan tolak markah tau. If you're able to ada benda all this, what we want to see that you justify, you elaborate, ada semua, is a matter of giving you higher. It's not deducting and making it look less. Faham tak? So I would encourage you always practice with a conclusion. But if you don't have a proper conclusion, it doesn't mean that kita akan terus tolak markah. No. It's just that maybe you dah dalam level 4. Your marks kan for your apa nama ni, grammar, vocabulary and communicative competency kan. So maybe you are now like 4, but because you do not have conclusion, it will remain as 4. But if you have proper conclusion, now the assessor will be, more generous and give you 5. That's why you need to follow this kind of like pattern so that you secure yourself to get higher marks. Okay, are you satisfied with the answer? Okay. You guys have very unique names. Senku-chan. Okay. Candidate B pun sama Candidate B, you must give response to your partner first. Because you see, your friend tadi baru ambil 1 point tau. State 1 point dulu. And then you have to give response. Then you guna cohesive device. Then you choose your own point pula. Personally, I believe that apa point yang you nak, then you link back to the question. Okay. Ada soalan tak so far lagi? Is it wrong if we touch on a sensitive topic if it does connect to the topic of the speaking or if we say any vulgar words, not swear words, yeah? Okay, why do you have to use a sensitive topic if you know that it is sensitive? Then if you know already it's sensitive, don't use, don't talk about it lah. Because we do not want to give impression to the assessor that these students ni, using vulgar words, using inappropriate words, trying to create sensitive environment. So it's not such a good impression. So maybe, because assessors are also human, maybe on that day she's not in a good mood ke, who knows? So do not provoke. Do not provoke assessors. Do not put yourself in trouble. Okay, stay safe. All right. Okay, now, when I say you can actually just use 2 points instead of 3, there's another technique. Another way is you can straight away talk about 2 points and join together. Okay, because if you do that, you're able to use all the point, and maybe when you explain, you can explain easier because you are talking about 2 points in a row. Boleh, tak ada masalah. You nak terus combine. I think people should learn another language is because we want to have more job opportunities as well as having wider connections. Boleh je. So you explain je lah because it is based on your personal ability. Kalau you are confident that you can speak about the topics easily. When you combine, then combine. Okay. All right. So this is actually I prepared this for you to practice. If I am having my audience face to face, I would ask them to write the response here. But because we are on screen, so I'm going to skip this. But I hope you are clear as how to go about doing this candidate A, candidate B responses. Okay, now this is what I mean by having to follow this outline tadi. Kan, you mentioned that you are stuttering, you're not confident, so can you like follow certain format? So this is the format. Okay, so first part, okay, you must greet your partner. Hi, hello, or good morning. Then state the step number two, you have to state the topic, or you want to open up the discussions now. So you can begin the discussion by using these phrases. Okay, let's talk about, or let's discuss, or let's begin. Today we are going to talk about. Okay, shall we start? So it depends. This is what you do. Okay. Then step number three, you must give your opinion based on the point that you chose. Give opinion plus reasons. Okay, in my opinion, takkan you nak guna in my opinion je kan? So you have to make it a variety. So memorize all these other responses. It is a good idea. Perhaps I think this is it would be better. You know, we should. So you pilih. To be honest, I believe. So this is what you should memorize a little bit here and there kan, supaya you punya response will see many way of you explaining your idea. All right, step number 4. After you give your opinion, you must ask if whether your partner agrees with you or not. So these are the things you may use to ask them. Okay, how about you? So what do you think? Do you think it's important? Do you agree with me? Takkanlah do you agree with me all the time kan? So you have to have another way of asking whether your partner agrees or not. Okay, now what if your partner disagree? Okay, so when you agree, then you can say this: yes, I totally agree with you. I think you're absolutely right. But if you disagree, you can disagree. Okay, you can. So you have to say it appropriately lah. Janganlah tak setuju tu terus no, I don't agree. So say it nicely. Actually, I don't really agree. I'm afraid I don't quite agree with you. Well, I don't think it's a very good idea because terus bagi tahu because. Okay. And lastly, you are concluding, making a conclusion to your discussion kan. So you have to say, so we agree that this is where you are discussing on the part now. You have some time to decide which is the most, kalau soalan tu yang keluar, then you have to make a conclusion of which one is the best. Okay, so you boleh hafal ayat ni. Okay, ada soalan dah kita need to justify them. What if, wait. Can I look at the question again? How about idioms or random poetry? No. There's no time for you to do the poem also. Can we disagree with our partner? Yes, you can. Why would you that to your own partner? Oh, I mean, you are free to have your own opinion. That's what discussion is. Right? When you have something to discuss, that doesn't mean that you are supposed to agree with everything that you're discussing. So you can you can disagree with your partner. It's okay. What if their explanation is wrong? You can correct them if you want, okay? But don't make it too don't make it like as if like you're controlling and as if like you are dominating the whole discussion, or as if that you are the only person who are right. If the explanation given from your partner is wrong, perhaps you can correct them by saying, I think that what you're trying to say is, so you kena pandai lah, pandai, help each other so that the explanation yang salah tu you betulkan and both of you will get the conversation or the discussion right in the end. Excuse me. What if? Yes, actually you can turn it into a debate. Memang pun, that's what the discussion is all about. You're debating, but you're not debating in a formal environment. You're just discussing. Debating is more serious and more formal. You need to back up with facts, you need to back up with statistics. That's what a debate. But now you're just having a discussion. So a discussion tends to be more relaxed, less formal. It could be very informal too, but just make it a safe discussion, okay, where you're not trying to win the argument. You're just trying to have a very a good discussion so that you are not trying to pinpoint who's right and who's wrong. You're just trying to get the answer to this discussion. That's all. Okay. All right. So now you are looking at part 3A just now. So, like I said, I prepare this for the students who are doing it face to face, right? So, this is the sample for them to do. I give them a question. So, you have 2 minutes to practice and use this cue and link to the question that was given. Okay, let me show you how we start. A, B, candidate A and B. Hello and hi. So student A will start. Let's talk about learning another language because this is only the topic that I have right now with for you. So you take the topic from the question. This is what I mean. Let's talk about take the topic, which is learning another language. Okay, firstly, why people should learn another language, in my opinion. See, I put in bracket. You read the question. Firstly, why people should learn another language, in my opinion, is because we can, okay, put the verb. We can apa? We can travel easily. That's the verb. Kalau more open-minded tadi, we can be more open-minded. Because kalau you kata we can open-minded, salah. So always have because we can or because people can, depending on the question. Kalau dia tanya pasal should people, then you use people lah because people can be. Okay. This is the main reason ataupun this is one of the many reason why. Ulang balik soalan. Why people should learn another language? Because, okay, bagi tahu kenapa you kata dia akan be more open-minded. Okay, then, do you agree with me? Nampak tak? Ada 4 je bullet. 4 je point. Seorang ambil 4 sentences. Okay, so what you do is you state the topic ada, state point 1, give opinion and reason and ask if your friend agree. So step ni semua ada. And then B pula. Okay, I agree. If you agree, then you say you agree lah. Personally, I believe you introduce your point. Then you read the question again. This is due to the fact. Explain. Furthermore, explain. And then do you think so too? Then partner A balik. So this is very helpful for you if you're stuck on macam mana nak nampak this discussion interactive. Now this is what you do. Okay? So nampak tak? Oh exactly. It is true that apa-apa je lah. Whatever the point you want to say. Okay? So the tips here is you can combine 2 relevant points. If you think that the points are suitable and could be joined together, then you might as well go ahead, join them. So that kalau you baca betul-betul ni, if you explain and use all this, actually it will exceed 2 minutes now. It will exceed 2 minutes. This is just a guideline for you so that you know what to do, then you can join the points. Okay? ni kalau I put 1, 2, 3, 4 sampai 6 lah. But you can skip. You can skip another 2 point if you are able to explain. Kalau tak berani explain, then use all 6. Okay, now part 3B, choosing the best. Okay, soalan pasal the best and the most ni, you must pay attention. Sometimes they will ask you about the most important way, the best method, the most important reason. You dengar balik soalan betul-betul from the interlocutor. What exactly is being mentioned? Now, you know what? You have 1 minute to decide together which is the best way. Okay, so take that in mind and use that when you explain. I think the best way to, I think the most important reason, I think the most effective way. So pay attention to that so that you are clear with what you're discussing or what you are explaining. Okay, now how to start? Okay, macam mana nak start? Ni yang selalu many students tanya. Teacher tak reti lah nak start. Then this is how you start. There's no more 20 second given to you here. You tak ada lagi 20 saat untuk fikir. Straight away, 1 minute, then start. Let's move on to decide which is the most. Ni yang teacher cakap tadi. I mentioned, dengar, then you ulang balik. Here. Okay, firstly, I choose. Okay, you choose your point. Okay, as mentioned before, because you already talk about it, right? So you have to use this to say that you are continuing the discussion by mentioning this. As mentioned before, traveling will be easy. Then you explain, bagi example. That is why I believe learning another language. I believe the most important way or the most important reason why people should learn another language is to get more job opportunity. So that is why I believe more job opportunity should be the main point. Okay, I hope you agree with me. I hope you agree with me. So you dah ada point. So if you agree, if your partner agree, okay, absolutely. I'm thinking of the same thing. Then you choose the same point. You just need to elaborate a little bit or explain a little bit more of that point. Don't steal your partner's idea. I mean, you can give more explanation, but don't tiru lah. Bulat-bulat tiru point kawan you. Sebab because assessor can see whether you sebenarnya ada idea ke you tiru aja. So please try to come up with another explanation or how you explain tu biar nampak lain sikit from the person because you agree kan. So now bila you dah come with a consensus, I guess we do. Perhaps I would add kalau you nak tambah lah. Kalau A yang originally mention the point, the first mention point tu, you dah tak nak cakap apa-apa, then you say that's great. Hence we have both agree that point apa is our final decision. So dia ada 4 steps di sini. Point A, point B, want to add or not, okay. Then B say, oh, that's great. Then that's the end. That means that's what you have agreed to decide lah. Okay. Now, what if the situation when you disagree, ada point lain yang tadi kan, ada yang tanya ni, you can actually have another opinion, right? I'm sorry, I'm afraid I have another idea in mind. From my perspective, I choose be more open-minded, alright, as the best ataupun is the most important reason why people should learn another language. My reason for saying this is that, okay, apa? Then when you use the question to elaborate, when you learn another language, therefore, apa? So that's the result of learning another language. Would you agree with that now? Because you tak setuju tadi. So now you tanya, setuju tak dengan aku sekarang? Right? Would you agree with that now? Okay, then kalau A wants to change his mind and want to choose B's idea or B's point, then you can say this. Your point sounds more convincing than mine. If I think about it again, I think more job apa ni tadi? I choose which one tadi? Be more open-minded is a better choice because okay. So now you're agreeing with your partner now. Then you ask, would you like to add more? That will be enough. I think we have decided. So that's it. That's how you come up with the 1 minute discussion on the best or the most important thing. Okay. If let's say a condition where you still disagree juga, tak nak, I still want to stick to my own point, to my original point. Okay, then masa dah habis, tinggal 1 minute, almost 1 minute. So you can say, I respect your opinion, but I am not going to change my view. Yet, this is a fruitful discussion indeed. Thank you. Then you can end with that. You don't have to tukar, change your opinion just because you nak habiskan. It's okay. You can stay safe, of course. You can stay safe by, okay, I agree with you. Thank you. That's the end. That's what we have agreed to decide. No. But let's say both of you cannot make a decision, then this is how you end. Okay? So far, so good? I still have another 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go to the last part, okay, of question in part 3, which is, we call it the HOTS question or the C1 question. Okay, if you notice, after you have finished with the mind map and then you have finished deciding, so now you have another 2 minutes to you akan dengar soalan macam ni. You've been talking about blah blah blah. Now let's hear your opinion on this. Okay, these are some sample of hot questions that I have actually highlighted. You may get question that begins with the word how. Okay, why? Do you think? In what ways? Okay, to what extent? Okay, to what extent ni macam bahaya sikit kan? Because many students are not so clear of what it means. Okay, what should? Sorry, excuse me. Okay. Some question will start with what should, will or would, how far, how effective, how true, or should, or do you agree? Okay, so this question, for example, if you see here, okay, how can academic achievement influence a person's future? Why are the efforts to conserve the environment often unsuccessful? So these are the questions which is related to the mind map that you get before or earlier, but is actually um, quite difficult to relate if you do not understand the question. Okay. However, if you manage to get the question, you can use the point that you discussed earlier to elaborate because it is actually related, like I mentioned before. Okay, so bear in mind, if you can relate to the points that you have already discussed and use it to support your statement here, then it's okay. You are encouraged to do so. Okay, because like I mentioned, this is a continuation to a bigger picture of the question that you discussed before. Okay, do you think paying more for branded product is a waste of money? In what ways can reading digital newspapers and magazines help save the environment? To what extent? Okay. Does celebrating the Independence Month at school help in instilling students' patriotism? Susah kan soalan ni kan? So, soalan susah ni lah are the questions that can actually give you the opportunity to get full marks. If you're able to answer these questions, so the examiner will akan naikkan markah you. Let's say you are stuck a little bit stuck and stutter on the other two parts kan. Part 2 tadi you rasa tak puas hati sangat. And then part 3 you think that it could have been done better. But now you have this part. Okay, so this part, the assessor or the interlocutor are now deciding whether you are the score 4 or whether you get score 5. If you're able to answer, they will automatically naikkan markah you akan jadi from 4 naik 5. Okay, if you are now like already 5, spot on answer given here, memang confirm you akan dapat 6. So 666 maybe or 656 maybe. Interlocutor yang paling senang nak bagi markah full kat sini. Because interlocutor kan dia cuma ada 6 marks kan and one kind of aspect or criteria je. So if you're able to answer this question, interlocutor tu layak bagi you 6. Full marks of 6 here. So kalau tadi you are like in the range of 3, if you're able to explain a little bit, kena CP-CP pun, you memang akan naik jadi 4. If you're from 4 or from 3 tadi, then you're able to answer spotless kat sini bagus, from 3 tu pun boleh naik jadi 5. Because this is very difficult question. Okay? Alright, let's move on. Okay, macam mana nak jawab hot question tu? This is the tip and the technique. The only thing that I am worried about this part is because you tak boleh tengok soalan kan? Because the other two tadi, you have the booklet in front of you. But now, you tak dapat tengok, you cannot actually read the question in front of you. So this is where the interlocutor has to be very clear when giving the question to you. Kalau you tak faham, then you can ask your teacher, I beg your pardon teacher, or excuse me teacher, can you repeat? So your interlocutor will have to repeat for you for as many times as you want. Because ramai student kan dia macam tak faham dia tanya. It's fine, you can ask. Cuma if you ask too many times, okay, then tadi kan keluar the little prompting, no help given, no help required and all that. So you akan tak dapat lah markah yang tinggi sangat tu. But still, kalau you tanya banyak kali and in the end you dapat jawab, still you can get the mark. But you tanya, repeating the question lah sampai 10 kali pun tak dapat jawab, then that's it lah. Okay, so now let's see what you can do to try to answer this question. Okay, so you've been talking about study tips. Now let's hear your opinion on this. How can academic achievement influence a person's future? Okay, so the interlocutor will obviously selalunya lah akan ulang 2 kali. How can academic achievement influence a person's future? So you have to pay attention what is the subject of this question or statement ni. Okay, so here you kena dengar juga what is the verb use. Okay, and of course kita kalau belajar English, you must know the sentence must have subject, mesti ada verb, mesti ada object. Okay, so this statement, the subject is academic achievement and the verb is influence. Okay, and what is it that is being influenced? A person's future, which is the object of this whole sentence lah. Okay, so your statement is you kena choose dulu whether you think it can or no, it does not. Okay, yes, I think academic achievement, okay, can influence a person's future. No, I do not think academic achievement influence a person's future. Okay, I think this statement is not true because I believe academic achievement does not influence a person's future. Okay, so you must give out your stand first because this is asking for your opinion kan. So you kena bagi tahu dulu whether you agree or disagree with this statement or question. Okay, so macam mana nak jawab? This is how you answer. Okay. In my opinion, okay, what is the subject? Ni kah? Academic achievement kan? In my opinion, academic achievement will definitely, okay, ambil balik the verb use, will definitely affect. Sometimes the verb dia tukar affect, sometimes the verb guna influence. Tapi yang selalu famous ialah affect and influence lah. Okay. Uh, I think, sorry, in my opinion, academic achievement will definitely influence a person's future. Ambil balik soalan tu. I say this because when, okay, when condition one from the subject, okay, meaning to say, kalau orang tu ada good academic achievement or bad academic achievement, dia akan dapat apa? Okay, for instance, if we get good result, we can get good job. Okay, so ada, lepas tu you have to add cohesive device. Okay, furthermore, in order to get a better job offer, our academic qualifications will ensure. Nampak tak you guna yang merah tu? Will ensure, that's the verb. Will ensure that we get more job opportunities with higher salaries. So, fourth question, sentence, guna lagi cohesive device and then ulang balik with academic achievement. It will allow us, ada verb, to earn, dapat verb lagi, earn what? Get what? More money. And therefore, secure a better life for our future. Okay, so ni contoh jawapan dia. How you want to score for the HOTS questions, okay? This is what I mean by having the subject. In my opinion, academic achievement is the subject kan. Will definitely ambil balik the verb, influence, ambil balik the object, person's future. I say this because when we have, okay, nampak tak the word when? Because we are giving the condition, apabila. Okay, when we have, okay, condition dia ialah good academic result based on ni lah subject good achievement kan. So when we have good academic result, we will get, sama macam awak belajar condition. Okay, ada when, ada condition, ada result dia. Apa yang kita dapat? We will get, this is the verb, get what? Get object, more opportunities to further studies at higher level institution. So this is your point. Okay, so now you go to the E. E for explanation and example. For an instance, if we get from when tadi, kita ambil balik condition baru. If we get good SPM results, we can study at the university. Okay, can study is the verb. Can study where? At the university. And earn, another verb. Earn a bachelor's degree. So you use cohesive device. Likewise, in order to get a better job offer, our academic qualifications, ini condition dia kan, because based on academic tadi, saya cuma tukar achievement to result, result to qualification. Our academic qualifications will ensure that we get more job opportunities with higher salaries. Therefore, so we want to link balik kan, nak L, link balik to the subject. Therefore, good academic achievement will allow us to earn more money and thus secure a better life for our future. Nampak tak kita link balik dengan future? So that's how you answer the HOTS question. Okay. Ni ada banyak contoh soalan untuk HOTS. Okay, can I see like one, two students who would like to try attempt this question? Cuba jawab ni. You've been talking about online shopping. Now let's hear your opinion on this. Do you think paying more for branded product is a waste of money?
All right, I would like to challenge my kids to
Yes.
write down your answer in the comment section.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see.
maybe. Let's see, ada lagi masa about 5 minutes kan?
Yes.
Who wants to try answer this? How many teachers are joining us, Balkis?
I think the teachers they just joined using the YouTube YouTube live. All
Oh, I
five teachers
see.
five teachers we're here.
Ah, I like the student Suna. If Suna is in front of me, I would give Suna a present. Very
Please tell
active.
me who you are.
Who you are, Suna?
Suna, what's your name, Suna?
Huh.
Who are you?
Which class?
Hey, Suna is very shy suddenly. I think paying more for branded product is a waste of money as there are many other brands which provide the same usage as branded items for a cheaper price. Okay, good. Teacher Bakis, you know her very well. Zeti. Ah, so
I
Suna
guess
is a
right.
girl. Steady, Suna. Suna, your answer is good, Suna. I think paying more for branded product is a waste of money as there are many other brands which provide the same usage as branded items for a cheaper price. But don't stop there because this is actually just the main point. Okay, now you need to elaborate a little bit more. Okay, gender river party. Absolutely no, Lukmanul Hakim say. It's because the branded product have a better quality than the other product. I disagree with the statement. Okay, I do not think that it's because the branded product have. I do not. Okay, apa soalan dia tadi? Ah, paying more for branded product is a waste of money. Okay, siapa lagi nak try jawab? Who else? Anyone else? Okay, let's say, okay, now let's hear your opinion on this kan. I think paying more for branded product is a waste of money. I say this because why would I waste money on something that I can use, that I can actually use for the same purpose? For example, I would not spend 500 ringgit on a Puma shoes when I can actually just use 100 ringgit shoes and run the same way. Contohlah kan. Okay, but if your partner, kan lagi seorang boleh cakap, I'm sorry, I don't think that the 100 ringgit shoe will give the same quality as compared to the 500 Puma shoes. Definitely the shoes which is branded and more expensive has better quality. This is because it will last longer. Okay, so this is what the discussion should be. Okay, you are free to just say whatever your opinion is, and you do not have to end this discussion by choosing or having to agree finally. So it's just a matter of whether you boleh explain ke tak. We want to see that in you. So ini lama tau. This part is for you to talk for 2 minutes. So kalau you tak boleh jawab part ni memang akan nampak obvious because that 2 minute tu will seem to be so long. Okay. Yes, Momo Senpi say this is because branded product is already making more money than small business who provide the same product. Okay, but your answer is not enough to explain whether you think paying more is always of money or not. Okay, Ipa is asking a question. Can we relate the question to ourselves? For example, the product. Oh, yes. All right, this is what I'm waiting for. Yes. Please relate when you give example, relate it to yourself. Okay. Talking about same skin, all right? I think I paying more for branded product is not a waste of money. All right. I believe in a good quality product. And unfortunately, good quality product comes from branded products, which is actually quite expensive. But I would not mind paying for more if I know that the product is safe. For example, I wouldn't mind paying more for my skincare product if it will help me with my skin. I do not want to be putting something, cheap products on my face and it will ruin my face. You know, that's how you relate that question to your personal experience and why you think that your statement is actually supported with your personal experience. Okay, Pa? Clear? All right, teacher Balkis. I think that. Hold on. What is it that? What if we say? I think it depends. Kind of like that. It depends. Yes. Okay. You can actually come up with a safe answer by saying that it depends on the individuals. All right. To some people, all right, they if they are rich, paying more for branded product is nothing to them, right? So boleh. You don't have to have like a specific clear black and white answer. You can, as long as you're able to explain your answer. Okay. I believe that in this kind of situation, it depends on the individuals. If people are rich, paying for 500 ringgit to them is not a waste of money. But to some people, which is like the majority of people who earn like, less than 2,000 a month, perhaps to them it is a waste of money where they have to buy something cheaper. Boleh? You are free to say whatever you think that is appropriate at that particular time as long as you back it up with elaboration and explanation. Okay, so it's already 10 o'clock. Do I have like one final question maybe before I end? Oh, by the way, your teacher actually asked me to talk about this listening paper, but I don't think I have time to do that. It's just that I think I would like to remind you some of the things that you need to be careful when it comes to using the new OMR hybrid. Okay, I think your teacher has already explained to you about this, but I am just going to go through very quickly that you are not allowed to use any pen. See, if you have it in blue, that means you're using pen. So please use 2B pencil, preferably the wooden pencil, not the mechanical pencil, because this paper is going to be checked using a special machine. So that special machine can only detect the carbon from the 2B pencil. So if you're using a pen, your paper will be rejected. Okay, so if I say pen is not allowed, it goes to the same part where you need to write the answer. Okay, do not write using ink, use pencil. And the last part, whether it's for paper 1 or paper 4, you are not allowed to write in more than 2 words, right? Use no more than 1 word. So guna satu je lah. This is for part 4, paper 4, question 21 to 30. And for part 2, for paper 2, part 5 pun sama. Okay, guna pencil je. All right, so that's it from me. Good luck, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, Teacher Nasuha, for the
Okay.
input. It was very, very, very helpful just now.
I hope so.
I,
I hope so. I hope it helps.
I think I feel glad that our students are very engaging. Like
Yes, they are
they asked lots
very
of questions.
engaging, very active, very interactive.
Yeah. Thank you, kids.
Kids, you
So
make your teacher proud.
Thank you, thank you. All right. I think that's all for today. Thank you so much again, Teacher Nasuha, for helping us, for giving us the input that we really need because they are having the exam next week, right?
Yes.
And I would like to say good luck to your students as well
Thank
for
you.
this
Thank you.
exam. Let's strive for the best.
Yes. Good luck, everybody. Nora, Suna Ozeti. I think I know her name now.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's read. Good luck Nabil, Shahin, and everyone. Okay, yeah, Mirul. Good luck, Mirul. Okay, good luck everyone. I'm reading the comments now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
you
teacher.
can
Yeah.
call me Madam Nat. Okay, my students call me Madam Nat.
Oh, Madam Nat. Okay, thank you,
Yes.
Madam Nat. Say, kids, say thank you to Madam Nat now. Comment now, comment. All right.
My pleasure, Madam Sunita.
All the
All the best,
best.
everybody. Yes.
All right. I think we can end the
Oh,
call.
Phyllis, so nice of you.
Not one.
Oh my God. All right. Yeah. Okay, we end. Okay. So thank you again, Madam Nat. So I think we'll end the live stream now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Nat. Thank you, teachers, and thank you all kids for joining this live this stream. Okay. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Okay.
Good luck.
Right.
Bye
Send my
bye.
regards to your GKMP.
Oh, I think she's
She's
watching. Yes,
she's
she's
Oh, she's
watching.
watching. Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you so
Assalamualaikum,
much.
everybody. Good
Waalaikumsalam.
luck.
Thank you.
Bye.